Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to Niger Delta Today. My name is Xavier Robert. Let's take you through what we have for you today. An invaluable commodity that sits at the very heart of governance: money. How it is collected, how it is protected, how it is spent, and ultimately how it translates into real development for citizens. With former focus today, the Akwa Ibom State government has been recently busy with activities including the unification of government accounts under the Treasury single account model, the controversy over 76 oil wells, and efforts at putting records straight amid legal concerns and interpretations that have been flying out. The release of billions for gratuities and a rollout of social interventions, all pointing to the Akwa Ibom State government's commitment to tightening financial discipline while also accelerating development. As always, the questions remain: is the system working? Is transparency measurable? Are retirees truly feeling relief from all of the activities of government? And are legal victories over oil wells translating into fiscal certainty? We'll be looking at this extensively, myself and Sifan Ode, this afternoon. Good afternoon, Sifan.
Good afternoon, Xavier. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
It's a terrific Thursday.
It is indeed. I'm happy you remember.
All right, let's do this.
Yes. Well, in Bayelsa State, the Chief Judge, Justice Matilda Abrakasa Yemeye, administered the oath of office on the state. The new Deputy Governor, Dr. Peter Akpe, and our correspondent at Chino Temple, said the ceremony, supervised by Governor Doye Diri, took place at the State Executive Chambers, Government House, Yenagoa. Until his nomination and subsequent confirmation by the Assembly, the Deputy Governor, Dr. Peter Akpe, was the Chief of Staff, Government House in Yenagoa. He became the 6th Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State under the Democratic Dispensation from 1999, following the demise of his predecessor, Senator Lawrence Agbojapo, on December 11, 2025. Here is how that particular ceremony went.
Continuity, competence, commitment, character, and above all, God-fearing, and of proven integrity to uphold the ethics of public service. And I found one in Dr. Peter Akpe. The State House of Assembly, ably led by a very prolific speaker, considered his nomination with what I will describe as the speed of light. And I owe this to my former colleague in the House of Representatives, Honorable Osai O. Osai, from Delta State. And in the same day, he was cleared. And today, we are witnessing the formal inauguration and swearing in as constitutionally required by the Chief Judge of our dear state.
I gather here to administer the prescribed oath, which presents a solid commitment to uphold the principles of justice and equity, and a pledge to serve the people with integrity, dedication, and unwavering commitment for the common good. I'm very convinced that the Deputy Governor designate who is about taking this oath has all it takes and is fully prepared to embrace these responsibilities. Thus, as we proceed, I urge you, as Deputy Governor designate, to reaffirm your commitment to the Constitution of our great nation and to the people of Bayelsa State.
As the Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, faithfully, in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Well, that was how that event went, and we saw as the Governor Doye Diri reeled out some of the qualities of Dr. Akpe, which he says is one of the reasons he was relying on to pick him as the deputy governor. And you would also agree that
as a rich CV there.
And also looking at his background as chief of staff, you know that he is already aware of the workings of government. He has been in the system, so it wouldn't need too much of learning on the job. He just easily eases into the role. And we're wishing him all the best and hoping that he's able to discharge the
I don't know
duties.
how true this particular information, that people that are saying there is a relative of the governor of Bayelsa State, and that the scenery, that it's not a family business. Why bring him into this? But for me, if we can deliver on the needed assignments, the other things are just preliminary.
Truly. When events of this nature come up, definitely you're going to see all manner of narratives. It's the political season, and it is a political appointment. So definitely you're going to have people who would have their own takes, hot takes on the development. But the most important thing is that what is specified in the Constitution has been followed through. The governor has taken his time after the loss of the late Deputy Governor Wojapo, God rest his soul. And with this development, we're looking at how this is going to further the course of governance in Bayelsa State.
We have to move
and indeed, yes, help execute the blueprints and plans of the administration of Governor Doye Diri. You would recall that the CPS, as a Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Bayelsa State, recently, in our last interaction with him, had spoken about the delay in choosing the Deputy Governor after Lawrence
he's taking
died.
his time, that very soon
he had admitted that very soon, of course, this is going to be addressed, and we've just seen that that has been done. And it is interesting to see what the next couple of years that are remaining under this administration would look like for Bayelsans, and of course the promises of ensuring that the dividends of democracy are discharged to the people of Bayelsa State.
Oh, terrific. I think we have another story of interest, and this one is a sad development, though. Again, in Edo, gunmen killed a high-ranking palace chief in Idwa Kingdom, a Southwest local government area, Edo State, and abducted two of his daughters. And the victim, Chief Jima Jacob Oboy, was reportedly attacked at his residence night. Reports have it that the assailant stormed the house and shot the chief at close range. His wife was also attacked with machetes and other dangerous weapons, leaving her seriously injured. One of the deceased sons, Lucky, said he had stepped out to purchase an item when the attack occurred. Here are some of the feedbacks we gathered.
Like I was buying something and I just received a call twice. So my sister just called me. They have shot that you. The next day I just come home and saw my father lying down with a gunshot. Like I was so surprised. What is going on? What is going on? And I discovered that my mother ever used cutlass to injure my mother this side.
Some group of about 4 of them, they came to one of our chief house and they shot him and went away with 2 of the daughters. Nigeria police and the civil defense, both the army, they all came to this place yesterday night. Even this morning, they were still here. We need assistance in this area. I'll be crying that the insecurity issue in this area, government should come and assist us.
We know that the spokesperson for the Edo State Police Command, CSV Ikoidem, confirmed the incident and said investigations had commenced. She added that the Commissioner of Police, Monday Agbonika, was in Ekboma, Edo Central, alongside other senior officers to address the security situation. Well, Xavier, the security situation in Edo State seems not to be abating, because I remember the last time we spoke with the, I think, representative of Edo State government, and they said that there have intensified efforts. But then I asked, why is it that there have intensified effort, but it looks as if we keep having these insecurity issues coming up on a daily?
Well, relating to the development in Idwa community, you'd also see that some of the reactions that came in, from the community members had them commending that for a while they had experienced some succor, talking about security. But with this recent development, it only reminds them that there's still work to be done. And the security issues are still very much around. And when you look at security incidences of this nature anywhere around the world, you'd see that when an area is prone to insecurity issues, different other splinter groups hide on the insecurity issues and incidences that are springing up to perpetrate more.
And that is why I asked that question. Is it that the issue is not being tackled from the roots? Whatever is the cause, it could be hunger. There's unemployment in the land, so most times youths go into whatever means they need to ensure that they survive.
It could be a couple of different reasons. May not necessarily be hunger. It may even not be politically motivated. All of these issues that we see may not even be related to politics. Some of them may be, but when you look at it holistically, you see that people always, cash in on insecurity events of this nature to perpetrate their own mayhems and issues of insecurity, and they would all blame it under the cloak of there's insecurity in Edo State. So why don't we cash in on what's happening currently and cause mayhem?
Recently there was I think Peter Obi.
Yeah, that is still a trending topic. We spoke to the Commissioner for Information in Edo State yesterday, and he addressed that issue both from the political angle and from the work that the state government is doing towards addressing insecurity. To him, the events that transpired between the former governor of Anambra State, that's Peter Obi, and the ADC, is an internal affair. The Commissioner for Information in Edo State blames it on an internal ADC affair that he claims is always prone to crisis, and he tags Peter Obi as being as always carrying crisis wherever he goes. Those are his words.
Not only Peter Obi, his deputy, because that was, I think, last time he was also attacked. So I don't know why that keeps following him.
And you can imagine that it happened last time he was in Edo State. We're trying to mirror this with a comment that the governor had made sometime last year, regarding being informed before a visitation to Edo State. But he tried to clarify that had nothing to do with the Edo State governor, and what the events are being subjected to investigations that the police are investigating, and they'll come up with.
If you look at it, Xavier, the governor equally has a point there. He needs to know, he's the chief security officer in the state, so he needs to know the personalities coming in, so that necessary arrangements will be made with regards to their security and welfare.
Indeed, but truly there's really no laid down law that before you enter a state in Nigeria, you must tell the chief security officer.
Then don't blame the state for it.
So
when these things come up,
anyone can decide to visit any part of the state. I mean, they're all citizens of the country. But whatever happens, we hope that the events in Edo State relating to security are taken care of as much as possible, because there are innocent lives that are now being brought in the mix, and the events are festering. I know we have some reactions coming in on this development in Edo, and this is from Omojo, Washington. It says, youths in Edo community make una mount guard. Police, civil defense, and the army are all busy elsewhere. Wahala too much, and the security officers are doing their best. Make una help una selves. No be only cultism. Una go they put body. May God bless his son land and restore peace to us.
This one is on Urban Sunday. Imagine. Meanwhile, from Iruegben to Ekboma, you will see more than 5 checking points. What are they doing on the road?
Okay, rhetorical question there.
Yeah.
And Nos Thomas says, we should not wait on the government for security. Communication and intelligence with the community should become very important. Check on people you have seen in your locality before, monitor them, and report suspicious activities.
Prince Lefe says leaders should learn to speak up on matters of security all the time instead of concerning themselves with bags of rice. That's from Prince Lefe.
That seems to be
leaders blaming the leaders. The citizens also have a role to play. As he said, when you see something, I think you say something.
In a matter of security, All hands must be on deck. Everybody must be ready to contribute towards tackling the elephant in the room, and this time a negative elephant.
So ensure you sleep with both eyes closed.
The events in Edo State are not peculiar to Edo State. It is just that when it becomes too much, people are definitely going to seek answers, and sometimes it also adds to what is playing out at the political scene. People tend to use these events to their own selfish benefits, and that Governor Mondo Pebo is doing in Edo State, which of course has been commended as being geared towards ensuring that issues of insecurity are tackled. Okay. What would make people believe that it is indeed yielding the gains is if stories of this nature do not continue to occur, do not continue to pop up every week in, week out.
Because as long as we still have in pockets of insecurity springing up here.
You hear of peace in a particular local government, and before you know it, a few days later, it's springing up in another local government area.
Yeah, arrest of the other one, and then we have another
questions
one.
Will continue to arise, and we are right here to always bring you updates when events of this nature happen. It's another way of putting the government on their toes and ensuring that they are discharging the promises that they made to the people when they took office. Let's take a breather now and bring you Niger Delta updates. Stay tuned. First, Niger Delta, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has reaffirmed his commitment to providing ultra-emergent healthcare services to citizens of Akwa Ibom and Nigeria at large, in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. Senator Akpabio made the statement on Wednesday while receiving various high-tech medical equipment donated by Global Women Ambassadors Canada for the people of Akwa Ibom State. Represented at the event by his special advisor on health matters, Dr. Adewale Adekoya. Through Dr. Inobong Esian, the Senate President appreciated the facilitators and pledged that the equipment would be effectively utilized for the benefit of citizens. Also speaking, senior legislative aide to the Senate President on stakeholder mobilization, Mr. Femi Odere, and his counterpart on political matters, Honorable Anikan Abraham, highlighted the benefits of the medical equipment.
We always respect and give kudos to distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio for his health interventions. Just recently, he organized a special free and compulsory healthcare outreach for the people of the Ikotekpene Senatorial District. He's also preparing to do same to all the senatorial districts in Akwa Ibom State. He has done so much to make sure that Akwa Ibom people have access to first-class medical care. No wonder he built a first-class multi-specialist hospital in Akwa Ibom State, popular Ibom Specialist Hospital. People just call the hospital Ibom Specialist Hospital, but we as medical practitioners understand that this hospital is not just a specialist hospital.
I have the passion, philosophy, you can call it a motto, to always look for ways to push the envelope in the right direction wherever I find myself. This donation to the office of the President of the State will go a long way to complement the renewal agenda of Mr. President in the health sector. And you understand, the President of the State is passionate about the well-being of his constituents. And this, if done, is something we really appreciate.
President of Global Women Ambassadors Canada, Ms. Kemi Amusan, said the donation would enhance health rehabilitation, reduce maternal mortality, and improve sustainable healthcare delivery.
The advantages of these interventions are enormous. It will help reduce maternal and child mortality risk, improve access to quality treatment, reduce healthcare costs for ordinary citizens, strengthen hospital infrastructure, and minimize the need for costly medical tourism abroad. When healthcare systems function effectively at home, families remain united, resources are preserved locally, and national confidence grows. We respectfully recognize and appreciate the unwavering support of the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Godswill Akpabio, whose office provided critical logistics and shipping coordination that ensured the safe arrival of these life-saving materials. This level of commitment clearly portrays a leader deeply supportive of women, families, and communities.
River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has appointed Dr. Dagogo Wokoma as the new secretary to the state government. Governor Fubara also named the lawyer Sonny Ewule as the chief of staff, stating the appointments were with immediate effect. A statement signed by the governor's chief press secretary, Onwoka Nzeji, said the appointees would be sworn in at 2 p.m. today. According to the statement, the swearing-in ceremony will take place at the ESCO Chamber, Government House, Port Harcourt.
In a separate development, the South-South Governors Forum has described President Bola Tinubu's executive order mandating the direct remittance of all oil and gas revenues to the Federation account as a historic and landmark decision. In a statement on Wednesday, the SSGF chairman and governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doye Diri, said the region's governors welcomed the decision as a critical shift towards the restoration of constitutional integrity in Nigeria's petroleum sector. The forum said the executive order was comprehensive, unambiguous, and heartwarming, and that it raised hope that after many years of opaque and complex deduction structures, the federal, state, and local governments would begin to receive their entitlements from the Federation account. The forum also expressed delight at the president's move to undertake a comprehensive review of the Petroleum Industry Act, describing him as a leader who listens and places the interests of the people above other considerations.
Of Edo State, Omosigwe Sogene delivered a remarkable comeback performance to clinch gold in the women's high jump at the ongoing Niger Delta Games. After battling a 2-year injury setback, the athletes cleared a personal best height of 1.75 meters to secure top spot on the podium, marking her return to competitive form. An emotional Esogene credited her parents and coaches for their unwavering support and encouragement throughout her recovery journey, also expressing appreciation to the Niger Delta Development Commission for providing a platform through the games to showcase emerging talent. Looking ahead, the high jump goalie says her immediate target is to improve her mark to 1.80 meters, a height she believes will strengthen her chances of securing an athletics scholarship abroad.
Jump my personal best here, like my personal best 175, but it's not just my personal best. I feel happy because I didn't expect to jump that height because I have injury over 2 years, and I'm glad. Thankful for my coaches, thankful for God, my mom, everybody for encouraging me. It's not easy. Training is not easy, and for my state depending on me, it's not easy too. So I want to tell them thank you. First thing is to make my mom and God proud of me, even my coaches. And I'm hoping 181 to maybe find a scholarship abroad. And I want to thank them for allowing us to come here today to perform. Also, I encourage the others to break people because many people broke people here. I want to for the opportunity.
Well, that's a Niger Delta update. When we return, we'll bring you the focus of the day. Don't go away.
Step into the heartbeat of the world when it meets real talk. From diplomacy to humanitarian challenges and scientific milestones, Global Digest takes you beyond the headlines and straight to the heart of the matter. I'm Ama Marcus. Be a part of the world unfolding stories at 3 p.m. on ADBN, channel 258 on DSTV, and Star Times, channel 140. Global Digest, your window to the world's current affairs, only on Advocate Broadcasting Network.
For your news on the go, ADBN is everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for news updates, captive diaries, and more. Join ADBN community today. Vast platforms. Bravo TV app, ADBN 121, 90 app, ADBN, Linuxwell TV app. Get the latest news straight to you. Join our WhatsApp TV channel, ADBN TV, and hit the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles on X at ADBN TV, Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV. Keep visiting site on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN TV, a part of you.
The overall function of the Parliament is adequate representation of their constituents in state echoes of federation.
Removal of fuel subsidy, resources to critical sectors such as education and health. A call to unity and progress of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
NAS Unplugged program that will highlight topical issues from both National Assembly, Peace, and Constituency projects.
Guys have it.
Catch the program on ADBD Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays as we bring of the National Assembly as it affects the people.
During the flood disaster in Maiduguri and its environs.
For increase in the number of judges in the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
The eyes have it.
NAS Unplugged, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 p.m.
In a world of overwhelming voices, where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it isn't that will bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Go, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just it is an innovative program that touches the core of our existence.
News on the ADB everywhere you are. Stay connected with us across all our social media and streaming platforms for exclusive news, captive diaries, and more. Join ADBN community today via platforms and our ADBN channel 21, Niger TV, ADBN TV, no TV app. To get us news straight to your phone, join our WhatsApp TV channel. Just search for ADBN TV, the follow button. Turn on your notification to stay updated and never miss any part of the experience. Stay in the conversation with us across social media handles at ADBN TV, Instagram at ADBN TV, Facebook ADBN TV, YouTube ADBN TV. Keep visiting our website on www.adbntv.com. Watch us live anytime, anywhere. ADBN, a part of you.
To staying tuned. Well, on January 1, 2026, Akwa Ibom State officially launched its Treasury Single Account TSA model, consolidating all ministries, departments, and agencies into a unified financial structure designed to block leakages, improve transparency, and centralize revenue inflows. To this end, Governor Umoino has directed the closure of all unapproved state accounts, warning MDAs against financial infractions and promising referrals to anti-graft agencies where necessary. The state says this reform is already strengthening internally generated revenue monitoring through digital platforms like AquaRemit. There have been other developments in the state, topping the list in what may seem as a rift with a neighboring state is the 76 disputed oil wells following Supreme Court judgments. The government has been pushing back against reports allegedly attributed to the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, which the commission itself has denied. You add that to the other news of the 2.3 billion naira newly released for gratuities, among other activities of the government. Now, the big question today is the TSA model becoming the financial backbone funding these commitments in development and growth? Or are there deeper structural challenges still ahead? Let's find out with Special Assistant to the Governor on Electronic Media, Mr. Samuel Ayara, joins us live. You're welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us.
Many thanks, Xavier. Good to be here.
Thank you for joining us today.
Many thanks. It's a pleasure.
Yes, well, the recent announcement by the governor regarding a consolidated account, a unified account, to some people it might come off as a threat, but what is truly the big picture that Governor Umoino is looking at, saying that the state should not operate different accounts and giving that marching order to MDAs? What is he looking at?
Well, Xavier, you would love to be reminded that Governor Umoino doesn't threaten, he acts. He acts. He doesn't react. He's proactive in his work, and you get to see the governor to on a number of fronts, a lot of times to get things done, even while most people are yet to understand his direction. This is a governor that had long before now reminded the people, look, that he does not have a body language. What that means is he means what he says and only says what he means. With the Treasury Single Account, AquaRemit, as the case is, has been since January 1 when that the pronouncement happened. I would take the leave to remind you that Governor Umoino has been an epitome of financial prudent management when it comes to financial management when it comes to public funding. Governor Umoino has been that poster boy when it comes to ensuring that government fundings are put to use for the right reason, and we're seeing this in our budgetary health between 2023 when the governor got in the saddle, and now we're seeing it in how much we are able to score our budgetary performance. Last year we saw a figure, we saw a score rate of above 80% budgetary performance. This is an administration that allows no moment slide without reminding the people, look, this is how much comes in and this is what we are doing. This is an administration that is putting all of what it has been able to do, all of what it has been able to receive into active service of the state and her people. So, Xavier, when you find an administration that is now saying, okay, even 2 years plus months, even 2+ years, we've been able to achieve this much, it means if we consolidate our revenue, if we consolidate our financial capabilities, we actually can do more. And then that has found effect, that has found expression in the government's decision to set up the AquaRemit platform, where all of government financial transaction gets into. And then it's like big pot and then having everyone contribute to that big basket, and then you begin to spend from that basket. You see, that way you block leakages, that way you make for stronger transparency values, that way you, of the heart, can just understand what is happening around your finances.
All right, Mr. Yara, let's look at, there are fears by some stakeholders, though, that this might lead to delays in them carrying out their statutory obligations. The bottlenecks of paying it into a single account before they're given money or like funds to take care of their basic needs there, that could lead to delays. Those are their concerns.
Well, there'll always be processes, and if we have processes in our homes, at homes we have processes, we have ways by which all of expenditures, our home expenditures are processed. It means government should also have theirs. So you probably, the fear isn't completely out of it. But the truth is it, are we going to allow government to just run as an unguarded territory simply because you want to think that processes should be faster? You want to think that, it sounds like when you hear people advance those kind of position, it feels like someone running to you to tell you, oh, please, can you urgently give me some money? No, when it comes to issues of money, there shouldn't be urgency around issues of financial management. You know why? Because these monies are not even made urgently. Yeah, monies that are not made urgently should not be expended urgently. And then
so you should be able to balance it. There's some urgent needs that might need to take care of. So you should be able to create a balance. Not saying that
this is a governor that understands all of that. This is a governor that has been in business and understands exigencies and urgencies. So he also understands that in all of this decision to bring government finances into one plate, that there will be need to have someone always stay to keep what could possibly happen at various moments as urgent needs.
All right.
And then in achieving all of that, you just simply would understand that when you understand a governor like Governor Umar, who Governor Umar is, you would know that he is simply not creating a warehouse for monies to be dumped into. He also would have, in this idea, set up a system that ensures that these monies are not just dumped into a warehouse, but are adequately utilized as to ensure that there are no stopgaps.
Mr. Ayara, let's look at what really led to this directive by the governor that unapproved state accounts should be closed completely. Is it that there were gaps that were discovered and issues that were discovered, perhaps issues of misappropriations and the general outlook of how the governor hopes, to encourage IGR, internally generated revenue, in the state? What are those issues that the governor discovered that led to this particular point?
No, you just can't wish away the fact that you can't wish away cause and effect. Yeah, in those kind of decisions. For the governor to have taken these steps, there probably could be what he found out. He's a governor, so he's privy to more information than any other citizen of the state. But again, beyond that, you also would know that he is a bankable entrepreneur who understands why a certain concern should not have 100 plus bank accounts. So he understands, first off, the cost of running those accounts is on its own a weight you don't want to imagine. Imagine having to be charged for account maintenance fee and all of the cost on 100 accounts. And then you finally deciding, okay, instead of pay this amount on 100 accounts, let me consolidate my revenue and pay from only one account. That on its own is sound financial engineering, and it makes a lot of sense. sense, even to a layman who should understand that if you operate from a particular source, if you operate within range, if you keep your financial operation within reach, that it makes more sense. It allows you the opportunity of forecasting and even being able to manage what you have at hand than have them scattered around the place, and then every time you need to pick, you have need for money, you begin to mop up and then end up paying all of the charges in these days of in these days, what's these charges you get to pay every day?
You're talking about the banks?
Yeah, in those days where the banks tend to get a lot of this monies from us.
The VAT, card and all.
Yes, and all of that. Well, so but beyond that, again, Sylvia, you also would know, you also would love to know that, okay, for example, the last time the government took up the idea of staff auditing, there was quite a lot and lots of hue and cry everywhere, and then people were thinking that that was intended to witch hunt and all of that. But at the end of the exercise, we saw that more than 2,000 people were actually discovered in the government payroll that are either non-existent or had abdicated their duties. And then, so that on its own has even allowed government the opportunity of understanding, okay, if this number can't be captured, if this number doesn't reflect our realities, and then it means we are 2,000 something staff short of what we think we currently have on our payroll. So what has that brought, what positivity did that bring? That now availed the government the opportunity of declaring open the current, the ongoing recruitment for indigents of the states to join the state service. So that applied side by side with financial management, you would understand that, yes, there probably could have been an audit that allowed the governor settle into understanding that Akwa Ibom State would do far better and a lot more if it has its revenues consolidated.
All right, well, the governor is clearly big on transparency. And there are some quarters of citizens who believe that if this transparency that the state government has exhibited must be crystallized, there should be, that visibility that the public has. For instance, talk about the TSA being put out periodically for persons to really know what the inflows are, and if indeed this step that the governor has taken has yielded the much desired effect. You think that that is a consideration of the state government? What is the open policy of the state government?
I want to challenge anyone who would dare think differently. There's never been a time, I dare say, there's never been a time government was more transparent than it is under Governor Romano, where we get to hear, even at public events, the governor talk about how much the state is receiving, where the governor gets to stand at, he doesn't allow a moment slide without telling Akwa Ibom people, look, we have this. We've never had a time where government would stand openly to say, we have so amount of money as reserves. Okay, we have so and so money as unspent funds sitting in the state account and all of that. So that on its own is transparency working on all fours. That's transparency in an unquantifiable that's transparency in the lived experience of the citizenry and even people in government. Xavier Robert, you would know, and you would also go with at a time like this. At a time like this, it is not every leader that would be favorably disposed to telling the people, look, this is how much we are able to rake in from internally generated revenue. He has exceeded where where past leaders took the state to on internally generated revenue. And guess what he now wants to do? He is trying to go beyond breaking the glass ceiling. He's not just relaxing, he's not settling. So he continues to tell the people, look, if we come together a lot more, if we consolidate processes, we can do a lot more. And we're getting to see that with the Aqua GIS, we're getting to see that with the Aqua Remit, we're getting to see that with how government is putting up most of its processes. It's putting up most of its processes to possible citizens. To possible citizens review. He allows the citizenry the opportunity of walking in to have a say in what government is doing. And then there's never been a time transparency in government processes, whether in contracts, whether in employment, was this happened without so much of human interference as it is currently happening now. We hear about the portal system where you get to log on to the portal to apply to join the civil service, and then when it's time, you now go to write an exam that is absolutely without any human interference. You sit on your computer, write your exams, get your scores, and then if you've met the cutoff mark, go home and get set for your oral interview. You go there as a contractor, register on that portal, show proofs of what you've been able to do, provide necessary documentations, and then sit back at home and receive an email that you've been given a job. There's never been a time government operated this transparently.
All right, Mr. The Akwa Ibom State government has recorded so much successes as you have mentioned, but however, there are many people that believe that this development, the financial, is not trickling down. In fact, we've seen a lot of people crying out saying the state government, the president Tinubu has released so much money and sending to states, but in Akwa Ibom State that received so much, but it's not trickling down. To say the boys are not eating.
I don't know who isn't eating. I don't know who isn't eating. But trust me, if you say people aren't eating, then we probably would have to probe what food people really want to eat. Because when you look at Akwa Ibom State from Obodokara to Mbo local government area, from E2 to Orowanam local government area, across the length and breadth of the state, there is apparently, there is almost no part of the state you would drive 4 to 5 kilometers apart without driving into a government project site. There are active project sites, and then so if you say people are not eating, who are the people working in those sites? Who are the people earning? Who are the beneficiaries of the numerous enterprise development programs of government? Who are beneficiaries? Who were the ones that benefited from the 2 billion naira traders grant? And who are the ones that benefited from the 2 billion naira farmers grant? And of course, the equipment support and all of
what. Who are the ones that benefited?
Yeah, we need to know. And then you now get into these conversations to know that these are people you see every day on the road. These are people who are actively doing something. So for Governor Romano, the idea is get something doing, get your hands on something. And make no mistake about this, notwithstanding how much the government did last year, it is already rolling out a 1 billion naira enterprise development funding as grants. In different stratification for each of the 31 local government areas. So for 2026, government is already earmarking 31 billion naira. What does that tell an average Akwa Ibom person? Perhaps most especially young people. There is money on the street. Follow the money. Don't fold your arms and sit back at home. This is one government that won't knock on your door to give you food.
Saying more needs to be done with the amount of money that's coming in.
Well, maybe we trust that more can be done, but the much that has been done is already adequate for plaudits.
Messiah, let's look at a more humanitarian aspect of this conversation now. Recently, we heard that the state government has cleared about 80 billion naira of the 111 billion naira outstanding of gratuity liabilities, and that's leaving about 30 billion naira. You see a commitment to clear that backlog, and even start paying ahead?
Definitely. And then you need to also lay the time frame within which these monies were owed, from 2012 to 2023. You look at the time frame, and then understand that if one man has come in 2 years plus, in 2 years and few months, if a man has paid 80 billion naira of in just a little above 2 years, of an amount that accumulated over a period of about 12 years, 11, 12 years. Even 2 years he's been able to do that. Then trusted that what the fraction of the 111 billion naira that is yet to be cleared is just a matter of time. Governor Umoina would have all of the expected beneficiaries go to the bank smiling.
Well, some of the complaints that have come in would be around verification processes. That's talking the retirees now, and some of the bottlenecks that come with, the bureaucratic bottlenecks that come with verifying and getting paid at the end of the day. We also get fillers that there are persons who stay in offices and try to influence what the person gets and who gets paid and all of that. You think that that is some of the issues that the governor has been able to tackle effectively?
Well, there's none of that I know about, but trust Pastor Umoina for who he is and has always been. He is one governor that would just be waiting for just one person. He would be waiting to lay a finger on one person whose duty, whose scheming is attuned to wanting to reap these retirees of their benefits. Governor Umoina waiting for those kind of people. You know why? Because if a governor has been sincere enough as to wanting to clear this money, the least anybody in any office should be doing would have been actually wanting to either shortchange the beneficiaries or shortchange the state. So with Governor Umoina, the beneficiaries are sure to get their due, and where anybody feels they are shortchanged, there are quite a number of fronts, and they can lay their complaints to, and then watch the governor come through for them. But beyond that, again, when you look at the gratuity system, when you look at all of what happens around that space, you simply would understand that, yes, there should be bureaucracy. There should be some bureaucracy, bureaucratic activities around there. Someone that retired in 2012, 2013 would probably have lots of papers to present, to actually prove they are the ones and all of that. And then with the passage of time, you see, that's why it makes a lot of sense in moments like this, where all of where government processes are better done, ICT driven digitally. You see, and then you would imagine that even those times when they retired, that we had all of this happening, then the processes would have been seamless and less cumbersome. But with what Governor Umoina is doing now, he's trying to clear what happened in the past and then set a template that would make for a seamless interface for the future.
Mr. we have to go, but I'll not let you go without asking you a political and social question. Recently, we saw the governor at an event with his predecessor. We saw that exchange of pleasantries, and it has brought up a lot of reactions. You want to give us a sneak peek into that particular scenario? Was it just for the cameras, or is that an indication that there were no issues in the first place?
There's never been issues. There's never been
Are
issues.
you putting your foot down with that particular point?
None that I know of. There's never been issues. The governor has time and again told people to steer off his relationship with his with his predecessor. And of course, even the predecessor has jointly and severally urged people of the state to continue supporting his successor. There's never been an issue. The simple truth about that, what we saw in the course of the weekend, a manifestation of the fact that people can exist in and out of office without the animosity we tend to experience and witness across climes in Nigeria, where predecessors and successors don't get to meet eyeball to eyeball.
Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel Yara, Special Assistant to the Governor in Electronic Media. We appreciate your time and company as always. And of course, we're hoping that the task of governance gets easier and smoother, especially to the benefit of the Akwa people.
Many thanks, Obed.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you too, and then I am sure that it can always get better, especially in times like this where everything is digitized.
Thank you, and that's a fine place to leave it. Catch us again tomorrow for another edition. My name is Xavier Robert, wishing you a terrific Thursday.
And I am Siphon Ode. Good afternoon.